slow down, reflect on your morals, what's important to you. Everything, has an impact on you. And if you don't take time to de-stress and relax.
Welcome, Hustle and Fit family. I hope you guys have been having an awesome week. Another great episode to the interview series. I have another amazing expert that I want to introduce you to. His name is Joshua Krantz. He's a certified personal trainer. He's actually a physical education teacher as well. He does a lot of group fitness classes, and he's been doing this for over a decade. So Joshua is the person that you can go to for advice that will really transform your body, not only mentally, physically, but also spiritually. So he is that person you want to go to really develop your overall craft in your body. So Joshua, welcome to the Hustle and Fit interview series. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Dave. Thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure. I'm really excited to be here, share my story, and, kind of just like what I'm about is just helping people. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to go ahead and share my story and tips and things that work for me. And hopefully, that translates and can help tons of other people as well.
Oh man, it's awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming out. And I mean,
Definitely.
how did you get into this whole adventure?
Yeah, so I'm sure, everybody's got their own story, but I'll try to give you guys a summary, So I'm 31 years old, and I've always been passionate about sports. I grew up playing sports. I grew up in the city in New York, and I was always playing youth sports, hockey, lacrosse, football, basketball, everything. And so, with sports and competitive sports comes hand in hand with fitness, and striving to get better. That means training more physically, making sure that mental toughness is there. As I grew older, I really realized while I do have a passion for playing sports and a competitive nature, is really that passion for the fitness that I found was like, okay, I can see myself doing this as a part of my career. So, I thought about it, and I thought about what's the right way for me to do this. I figured, I love kids too. And so why not be an educator, a physical educator? And so I went to school at Queens College. I got my bachelor's degree in physical education. And so now I've been teaching in the DOE, Department of Education, for 5 years now. I'm an elementary school physical education teacher. But throughout that journey, I also have been training one-on-one clients and also group fitness. And, group fitness, like you mentioned when you gave me that nice intro, group fitness it's so different. And it's just got such an energy about it, right? You're could be small groups, which is great, but then you have these large groups, 20 to 50 people sometimes in my classes. And the energy is absolutely amazing. It's the entire experience, from the moment you walk into those classes, and from the training, the form getting corrected, but also feeling that positive energy circulating throughout the class, the music, the vibe. That was something I fell in love with, and I knew I definitely wanted to do that as well. Because those kids can be tough at school sometimes. So I was like, I got to have some balance here, man, because, it's all about balance. But it was great. I could teach kids during the day, and then I found I can teach adults at night. And so, fast forwarding, 10 years of group fitness, doing it at different locations. Now here where we are now, I work with some other companies, but I'm also, I just started my own business, and I knew that was something I wanted to do earlier on. But, sometimes you're just not ready to take that leap of faith. It's not easy to be your own entrepreneur, your own business. You might have people who support you, but it takes a lot to take that leap. So, this is the first year I've done that. I've started my own brand, JK Fit. And we're residing here right now in Queens and in Long Island. So, I'm doing these group classes. Things are really picking up momentum. And my passion is just taking off. And it's great to see, kind of these dreams and things come to fruition. So I'm excited to be here with you. I'm excited about my story. And let's keep it going, man.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's really big. Actually, as you're telling me that story, it made me think, because a lot of the people from Hustle and Fit, the name kind of tells you, is they're busy professionals that are also trying to balance out, staying fit. Now that you're kind of are you still teaching, or are you out of teaching?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I'm sure everybody knows the times we are in right now. You know, we have this pandemic, but it's shifted a lot of the way that I do things from an education standpoint at school. You know, I have to teach my students remotely. It's been different. Although we're done for the summer, I've had to teach classes online. I check in with my students. I post the workouts. I see how they're doing. I'm there to support them. But it's certainly not the same as Josh Krantz in person, Mr. K in person. But you know, you adapt and you do the best you can. From a fitness perspective, it's actually opened up a lot of doors. You know, you now have this whole kind of revolution with online training. While that was kind of there, it's now taken off. And people are looking for consistency, home workouts that are innovative. You don't need to have, you know, a squat rack. You don't need to have all these things. You can do your body weight. You certainly want to have some resistant bands, kettlebells, certain equipment that you can get, but it's opened up this huge new door. So I teach on Instagram Live. I do Zoom classes, and there's just so much more exposure, you know, with all the different platforms on social media. It's definitely created a shift that I'm trying to capitalize on because, you know, I can reach more people this way. You don't have to be in Queens with me necessarily to get a great workout. So, you know, we make it happen. We make it happen. So it's been a changing of the times, but I'm all here for it, man. I'm here to keep going with it and adapting as we go.
So how are you balancing your time? Like, because you got your business going, you got classes.
Yeah.
I think you have a fitness brand too. How do you balance your life out?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think, you know, for people to think about, it's all about balance, right? It's really about balance. And while my drive is so high right now, and I'm so passionate because, you know, for people who, they might not grasp this, you know, when you start working for yourself, you're just so passionate. You almost got this extra third gear, right? Like, I'm tired, but I know that I'm building something that I ultimately cannot wait to see reach its full potential. So I'm really pushing myself as hard as I can, but I listen to my body. The biggest things I would say for people is really getting a good schedule, and the sleep is so key. You know, you burn yourself out, especially those of us who really love fitness. They want to work out. But if you're not giving yourself that adequate rest, it can really definitely hinder your progress in many ways. And it can really, you know, make you pause, and you don't really reach those goals that you're looking to, because you need the rest to recover. You need the rest for balance. And I think that's just something so important. Some people get so, you know, riled up, and it's just nonstop, but you got to take a pause, especially with the classes that I'm teaching. For those of you that don't know, I teach a lot of HIIT classes, you know, high intensity interval training. Something that's definitely big right now. It's a great way to incorporate into your workouts, but it can be really demanding. You know, fast movements, you're exerting yourself, plyometrics, really jumping, pushing. So rest is key, man. Rest is key. Balance is key. And having a good support system can never hurt. You know, it's key. Whether it's my beautiful lady, Michelle, or my family and my mother, it's all key. Support, rest, and just a positive mindset will actually really get you through a lot.
You have a body shape that I think a lot of people would love to have. Are you doing that mostly with like HIIT and cardio and like kettlebells?
Yeah,
Or are you lifting heavier? Like, what's your thing?
Right. That's a great question. And also, thank you. I know I'm whoa. But you know what? Being an athlete, I've always kind of trained dynamically. I like to switch things up. I've definitely had periods in my life where it was more traditional lifting, you know, standard bench press, squats, but I like to incorporate a lot of HIIT training. My ideal balance would be to do a few days of HIIT throughout the week and a few days of heavier strength training. It's harder to do that now because of the times we're in. I'm in New York for you guys back at home, and you know how we have these phases of reopening. We're not there yet. And honestly, I don't know when we're going to be there. So, you know, I've had to find ways to do it. I do a lot of my strength training with heavy resistant bands. You know, I can also increase the load with adding some weights. I have my own set of weights. But I like to do a split, a couple days out the week, HIIT, you know, high intensity interval training, a lot of calisthenics, burpees. I know y'all hate those burpees.
Everyone hates burpees.
I know, right? Those burpees.
The worst.
A lot of those different moves, but I try to find a balance between, just like I mentioned before with my life, finding the balance with rest and, exercise and support. I try to, have that approach with my training as well. Just HIIT training incorporated with strength training, some cardio, but again, most of my cardio will come in my HIIT training. I don't really do a lot of running on the side. I will do a bike ride here or there, get out there, enjoy the day, do these different things in nature, hiking. But most of my foundation is HIIT training, strength training, and then finding a good balance throughout the week between them both.
That's pretty amazing. And I like how you're balancing out like the new changes into your business and everything like that. And it's interesting because you're also like a great example of somebody who's actually doing all of the aspects that everybody's pretty much dealing with, which is having a busy schedule, a busy life,
right,
and then still making it all kind of come together. What do you?
Yeah.
One of the mistakes, and you mentioned having a good schedule. What are other tips that you would say to people, like, so that they can, reach their fitness goals that, a lot of people sometimes miss?
Yeah, I think that's such a good question, and it has a lot of aspects to it. But, you've heard me say this word balance a lot, and I think this can be approached to the two things I think that are most important. While sleep is right up there, it's really, for me, the nutrition and the fitness, the exercise. And they need to go hand in hand. If you're doing one without the other, you're only going to hinder your progress. So you're eating right, but you're not doing the exercise. Yeah, you'll lose that initial weight. But if you're really trying to get like your boy over here, if you're really trying to hit those goals, you have big things in mind. You got to draw up a plan. You can't go into this stuff just being like, all right, I'll figure out what I'm going to do today. I wake up every day kind of having the structure. And that's what really helps me not only balance my crazy schedule, but also what I want to accomplish in my nutrition, my macros, right? What I want to eat for the day, and also for my workouts. What muscle groups am I working out? Am I getting that balance throughout the week? It could be a full body day on Monday, but then am I isolating legs, quads, hamstrings on another day, vice versa, chest, pull, push day? It's really about the balance. And I think you got to look at the macros, most important. You'll see a lot of diets out there, and I think, a lot of those fads come and go. But once you guys understand just the idea of reaching certain numbers, because this is really a numbers game, calorie deficit, calorie surplus, finding where your goals are. Are you trying to bulk a little? Is it bulking season? Or are you trying to get shredded for the summer? You got to adhere to those goals. You can't just kind of wing it. You got to have a plan, got to look at the numbers, and then you do that in a healthy way. It's all about really eating healthy foods, eating real foods, right? Processed foods, we know, with the sugar, the salt, it's going to have a negative impact immediately and in the long term. Diabetes, other issues, health-related issues. So for people out there getting started, a lot of our country is based on the quick fix, right? How do I lose 10 pounds in 2 days? That doesn't work, guys. And you gain those right back. So it's about doing things the right way so that it's sustainable for your life. You do things in the short term, yeah, you'll see progress for your next wedding, but then you're putting those pounds right back on, So you got to have the structure. You got to have a plan. And there's always options and ways to find out to get help with that. I'm one of those people that can help you out with that. So I'll definitely put my information for you guys to reach out for me if you need help with any of the nutrition or the exercise. But it's about a plan, having the mindset, and then just really getting after it every day with really that positivity. Because we all go up and down, right? I have rough days too. I'm sure you do too, Dave. And it's just about getting back up and really just staying the course. Weight loss or weight gain is not happening in 1 week's time. You're doing it right, it's going to take weeks, and then it's ultimately going to take months to really get that peak shape you're looking for. So, I would say it's really about structure and balance, man.
Structure and balance. I like that, structure and balance. I'm going to ask you a random question, though. Because you've taught both children and adults, you kind of have a unique perspective. What are some things that adults could learn from children that you've noticed? Like some things you're like, hey, kids really get this, but adults have problems with this.
Yeah, you know what? Especially in a time we're at now, kids, unless they're taught something differently, they're naturally just, they're going to kind of want to express themselves, create these relationships, and really they almost sometimes have a carefree approach in the gym, at least with me. They're excited to get out the chair upstairs. They're ready to come downstairs. Not only are they're moving, but they're learning too. And so that connection while you're moving and you're learning, you're releasing endorphins, you're giving high fives to your friends, you're making a shot, you're learning how to run, skip, and jump. So kids they don't have a certain perspective. They're just taking things in as they see it. So when you see a kid say, that doesn't look right, that's because it doesn't look right. They call it like they see it. If I walk into the building one day, they'd be like, Mr. K, you look tired. That's because I look tired. They know. And they can see it from a mile away, So that is the beauty about children. And that's why I love what I do, because my positivity and my energy is what I always give to them. And I always, it's bigger than being phys ed and teaching them. You teach them how to interact, the social interactions, how to make sure you say sorry, just being a good person, right? As you get older, though, a lot of us, especially with our day-to-day being so busy, by the time you get to the workout, right, a lot of people are like, oh, let's get this over with, like they're just upset. So I got to be extra energetic for them. I'm like, come on, man. I know y'all had a rough day, but you here with me, so let's get an hour and have a good time. But I know adults might need that more so because of all the things going on in their life. They may have kids. They may have health complications. They may have bills. There's just a lot going on in everybody's life, especially once you reach adulthood. When you're a child, you don't necessarily have those things. And like I said, you're just seeing things as the way they're shown to you. And so I think adults, if they can, it's really just about trying to, slow down, reflect on your morals, what's important to you. Everything, has an impact on you. And if you don't take time to de-stress and relax, that's ultimately going to make you implode at some point. You got to find ways to just calm down. And I think exercise is one of the best ways to do that. And so when you step in the gym or you go to a class, try to leave that energy to the side and just focus on yourself. That's what I do for myself too. Even if I've had a rough day with the kids, a kid threw a cone at something or something happened, it's tough. It's tough. I make sure I put that on the side when it's time to see all of my clients because they're expecting the best from me every day. So you got to find ways to de-stress, focus on the positive. And, I think we can definitely take a lot of no's from children because they take things in stride and it gets harder to do that when you reach adulthood. But it can still be done, man. It can still be done.
I like that. There's always these little hidden gems. And I kind of feel like adults are like bigger kids, right?
Yeah.
So essentially like, you get to see the layers, right? So that's
100%. 100%.
So, I mean, so kind of looking at it right now in terms of what you're doing right now with group classes, what would you say is slightly, I know you mentioned like the camaraderie and working in the group and the energy that comes in it, but now we're working from home. How do you replicate that? Like, how do you get, me to feel the same way as I would have in group class now?
That's a great question, Dave. You know what? I think this is important I know if this is how I approach it. Other trainers, I'm not sure, but I think there can be something to be said for them. Every time, and this is why I was able to do this easily transitional into this online era, because I've been doing it since I started. If you come into your class every time and you make sure you give an A+ effort, you build those relationships, everybody sees you're genuine, you really care, and you always are doing your best. So again, it's about having that really high energy. People want that high energy. And that doesn't mean you need to be yelling and crazy like me, although I am like that. You can be a high energy yoga instructor. You can be a high energy Pilates instructor. They just feel your energy. Not everyone conveys that energy the same, but they know your energy the second you turn on that camera. If I came on this camera and I got a class in a few minutes and I'm like, hey guys. You know, it's not happening, man. It's not happening. You gotta be, hey guys, what's going on? It's Full Body Friday. Are you ready? You know, so like the energy's gotta be there, and people will go ahead and interact. You know, I'm doing these classes, but people are typing, oh my God, this song is great. Oh, I love that move. I love what you're doing. And it takes more energy because I'm working out, I'm showing the move, I'm doing all this, but then I'm also like, hey, Susie, great job. I love the comment. Hey, what's going on? I see you just joined the room. Ron, what's up, big guy? Acknowledge the people, interact with them, and put on your best energy. Because it's about the experience. They can do these workouts anywhere too, but they coming back to you, or in this case, me, because of the energy. It's the energy, you know? So consistency is key, and really just interacting. You got to interact. Once you put on the camera, you don't know how many eyes are on you. You know, it might say 10 people are watching, but those 10 people might have another 3 people with them, right? So your reach is huge. And that's something that I've learned through the online game. People are sharing your stories. People are getting their friends to do it while they don't necessarily let you know. There's always eyes on you. So, you know, that makes me even more motivated to go out and kill it.
I love that, man. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, second last question. You mentioned that one of the things you do is to kind of get yourself into the mindset is you kind of put away the, you know, what happened in your day and you kind of put it to the side and then start up.
Yeah.
What other strategies that do you do to like ramp up? Because you're a high energy dude. Like, how do you just go from 0 to 60 like that?
I wish you could see Michelle. She would be like, Dave, he doesn't ever stop. I'm always on 100. But with that said, you know, my biggest way to find time to relax, and we're together now 5 years, is just my time with Michelle is so important. She works a lot of hours. I do too. We're business partners in this together. She's the one who helps with the scheduling, the promotion. That makes it even better. It's a family affair, right? I love that we're doing this together for our future, our children, etc. But, you know, I definitely think it's about finding time with the ones you love. For me, in my case, being with Michelle, having our dinner, putting the phone down. This social media age is very, very intense. I'm sure we can all attest to being on our phone and just swiping and swiping and swiping. Sure. And I'm not talking about minutes. Like, we get into those holes where we swipe for hours, right? Like, you looking at that post, you're like, oh, he's cool. He's got a cool move. You follow him. Then you're like, wait, that person's cooler than him. And it's just like a cycle. And so especially during this age, putting the phone down, making sure you really do it. You can't say, oh, I'm going to be, okay, Michelle, I'm getting off the phone in a few minutes, and then me not do it, because that doesn't serve her or me, and we both don't get to rest. So you got to commit the same way you commit to your fitness and your eating, the nutrition, the sleep. Commit to disconnecting. Commit to taking time away from the screen. Commit to going out in nature, fresh air. We love to go on hikes. We love to go upstate, different places. You know, we love to travel. Although we can't go, you know, to Europe for our summer trip this year, we'll find places to go. We'll find hikes to just get away and just kind of be in tune with ourselves, because especially with the business now, everybody is asking for my attention, which I'm going to be there for. But I also have to make time for my own attention and my own loved ones. And that is so key. I can't underestimate that enough. You know, you really got to find ways to just calm down, disconnect. Maybe put on the show. I mean, I love to play Fortnite. I love to play video games. So, yeah, come see me, guys. I'm the Fortnite champ. But I'm being honest. You know, it's everybody finds their way. Some people like to read books. Some people like to go out. Some people like to do a combination of everything. So it's finding what works for you. But for me, it's definitely time with Michelle. Definitely going out and relaxing, disconnecting, and then definitely getting a couple wins in Fortnite.
Very good, man. I love that. Oh, I mean, that's awesome. So it really comes down to you got to separate some of the craziness of your day, and you got to really master that disconnection and do the things that you love and really be focused on it. And then like, that's how you kind of de-stress, and then you can get back into it and get active.
Exactly.
That's how you keep the high
You know,
energy.
because I'm waking up every day, whether it's at 5 a.m. or 6. I'm up now early because of the business, the clientele. So my energy's high when I wake up, but I got to, like you said, prioritize disconnecting. Because if you say you're going to do this, but you don't prioritize it, you're just going to end up swiping right back through Instagram again. So you got to really make sure, like I said, structure and balance. This should be a part of your structure. It should be a part of your day to set aside time to go ahead and do that. If you have family, when you're at the dinner table, you know, make it a rule that you're not on your phones while you're at dinner. Make it a rule that you guys are engaged on one another. You have that community time, because that's where the real love is. That's where your real bonds are. And that's how you really kind of, for me, mentally recover and slow things down.
Nice. Man, Joshua, some great information. I love what you're talking about. Where can people find you? Like, what are you working
definitely,
on?
man. Definitely. I look forward to seeing all these people who are watching. You guys can find me on Instagram. My handle is Joshua, like my name, or Nah. So JOSHUAORNAH. Joshua or Nah. I'm on Instagram right now. You can also find my fitness classes through my Instagram. There's a direct link to where you can access classes. And then you guys can always message me. I try to do my best to respond timely, you know, and set things up. I know people will probably inquire about Zoom if they can't see me one-on-one, but there's tons of options there. You can also find me on my other company that I'm partnered with. It's called Elite, like the word, Amenity. So Elite Amenity, I live stream through there 4 times out the week. Different classes, resistant band days, dumbbell days. I try to get innovative using chairs and towels. It's all about creativity. So you can find me on either of those handles. And you guys can always message me if you're looking for one-on-one training, group training, outdoor, in-person, or Zoom. And you'll see my website on my bio in my page, you know, vigaro.com/JKFit. And you can see all the options for classes. There's class packages available. And, you know, I'm just really excited about this business I'm starting. It's such an exciting chapter in my life. It's great to have Michelle behind me and Charlene, her sister, as we do this together. Charlene is amazing because she puts the nutrition aspect into it. And Michelle does the advertising, the marketing, and structure. And then I'm the actual hype man that's doing the classes. So, you know, it's a great family affair. We love it. It is definitely great to get on with you. I'm loving what you're doing. I think this is so cool. You know, we need more people out here that are giving exposure to other people, you know, and it's great to be here. So I'm looking forward to, I'm sure we'll be in touch and talking in the future. And I'm excited to see where you go and where I go too, as we both, you know, make progress together, man.
Oh, for sure, man. I'm loving it. My last final question I always like to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's imagine you had to leave the planet and you had to leave the world with one gift, something that they could, you know, that would really transform their lives when it comes to health and fitness. What would be the one thing you would leave the world, a piece of advice or information that you'd want to leave them before you go?
That's an interesting question, man. I mean, now, I don't know if I'm getting the question right, but if I do, you know, my biggest thing, and this is before fitness, this overrides anything in my life, is just love and being a loving person. And just, that is, while my training is top tier and people really come for the consistency, people really come to my training because the love they see that I give them and the attention and the passion. Those are the things that I think are so important. And if you really step into your day with like just a really good energy, you're loving and you're passionate, you're driven. I know you asked for one thing, and maybe that was like 3. But, you know, I think people will get the message. You know, that's a mindset. That's a lifestyle in its own. And when you are really like a positive person, that exudes into all parts of your life, you know, and that can really help transform everything you do if that's the type of person you are. And I think that's so important. And that's really what I try to give every day to everybody I meet, that all my interactions, I try to make sure that they know, even if I just met them like you, I'm sure you know I love you too, bro.
No, man.
So that's what it's about, man. It's really about that. People see that for what it is, and that will help you be even more driven to do what you're doing. If you can have that loving energy and positivity, man, sky's the limit.
Nice. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
That's a good message.
for sure.
Hustle and Fit family, please, you have to follow Joshua. He's doing amazing thing. The energy is like, it's amazing. It'll push your day. I mean, like, honestly, just hanging out with him gives you some juice. So I'm telling you, this is the person you want to follow. Follow his Instagram, go to his pages, go into his business. I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot out of it. Joshua, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Dan. It was great.
Oh man, our pleasure. Hustle and Fit family, keep doing what you do and keep hustling and stay fit.